G'day everyone, I'm Jazza, and this would have to easily be the most controversial video I've ever made. Because it involves drugs. I can practically hear the dislike button being clicked hundreds of times as I speak. This video is very likely to be age restricted and probably crushed by the YouTube algorithm, and it's certain to be divisive amongst my subscribers, let alone people who haven't really watched my content before. Some people are bound to be annoyed at me because they would think I don't have a right to talk about drugs on this channel, either because it's not relevant to my usual content or because I'm not an authority. And then there are some people whose lives may have been affected by drugs in a way that would perhaps make them feel like they disagree with the way I would talk about such an issue. And then separate to those two ends of the spectrum are the people who might just think it's not a big deal or sort of pointless to talk about. Nevertheless, sometimes it is just worth talking about something. The reason for this video goes back to earlier this year, where I was invited to participate in a project called The Ripple Effect. I was commissioned to create 2 videos as part of this project, which was aimed to inform young people about the dangers of taking drugs and what they do to your body, specifically MDMA. The party drug, also known as ecstasy or Molly or E. The goal of the Ripple Effect is to try and help parents know how to talk to their kids about drugs, or kids how to help their friends who might be going through an overdose, or how to know what is happening to your body or what their risks are at play if someone were to choose to take drugs, or why they might obviously want to not take them in the first place. In other words, hey Jazza, can you make 2 videos about drug education for young people, and that by watching might help them make more informed decisions and even potentially save some lives? Obviously, when put simply like that, it's a bit of a daunting pitch, but I did want to participate in that, and I gave it everything I could to do the best job I could to make these 2 pieces of content, which you can go watch now. Now, I really intended these to not be preachy or boring videos. My first goal was actually to entertain so that I could hold people's attention and then get information to them. So I'm really hoping that you might take a moment to go check those out. The video links are in the description. The project involves puppetry and a lot of green screen work. I also starred in them as a game show host, or as Captain Rewind, the very cheesy superhero. He also happened to make use of parts of the V-Artist costume, so that's a little Easter egg for some of you guys. And those 2 videos really are, to this date, the biggest video productions I've ever taken part in, let alone led, which has actually been a really interesting learning experience and a really fascinating and quite fun, and at times very, very hard workload, but really the result is something I'm so proud of. So please take a moment to go watch those. Once again, all the links to that are down in the description. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the production, there's actually a few behind the scenes videos I made that go into extensive detail on how we put these big productions together. They're really fun pieces of content and quite informative into the production workflow and how the things came about, and also just really interesting in my opinion. And I love that sort of behind the scenes stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can access it with the subscription to the Daily Telegraph. Once again, those details are in the description, and that subscription supports journalism projects like this one that I took part in. So now on to this video. In this video, as you may have guessed, I am going to make art with these pills. We have ordered 20,000 capsules here of different sizes and different colors. They're blank capsules, by the way. They're completely harmless, nothing but digestible gelatin. So obviously the theme and medium of the artwork in this video is a bit sensational, and the topic is absolutely divisive. However, I just wanted to start off by letting you guys know that the intent of this video is simply to promote the further understanding and conversation about the ripple effect that drugs can have in people's lives. So, time to make art out of these 20,000 capsules. Now, they're all going to be a small part of forming one big picture. And that picture is meant to be a picture of what is most important to us all. It's the thing we lose in our community, what losing our young people does to parents, to friends, to family, to emergency workers, to school communities. We're all experiencing the loss and the damage. Now, already just 2 weeks ago, which is pretty much the first weekend of the music festival season in Victoria, which is the state of Australia I live in, we've lost 2 more young people to drug overdoses. Think of how far-reaching those losses will be. Their childhood friends, their siblings, If you think of each of these coloured little capsules as representing one small part, maybe a small decision, a single drug shipment, a single pill, maybe even representing a single death, so many elements that come together that hurt us, like these things will come together to form an image. So what do? There are so many options. Already for being involved in this project, I've been flooded with people's opinions on drugs and on the project, some more controversial or critical than others. All I can say is that I have to stick my neck out for something I believe in, because we're still losing our friends and young people's lives are being lost. I mean, who doesn't know someone who's had an overdose from drugs? I do, my wife does. I would think most of us do by the time we're 25, but I don't have a simple answer. So what I'm trying to do with my small part in this series is just to start the conversation, hopefully to get you some information. Like the fact that the reality of MDMA is, even if you know it's uncontaminated, even if you're not drinking alcohol or you're with friends who say they'll look after you, there's simply no way of knowing how your body will react to the drug. There's no way of knowing if it's actually going to be safe. So I know this video is out of the blue for most of you, and I know I don't seem like the type of person to stand on a soapbox like this, but honestly, I want my kids to grow up in a world where they are able to understand the risks and the dangers they'll eventually have to navigate on their own, as much as that scares me as a father. And in the years I've been entertaining people on the internet, the moments that have always stuck with me the most are the moments I've had to meet you at events, or hear your stories and emails, or read your letters, learning about your hardships and your triumphs. And I feel intensely protective when I meet some of you who use art and creativity to cope or simply survive, who aren't in a place where you see your worth or recognize your potential. So then imagine never wanting to be the kind of person who might change the world, but actually doing so, but in death. This face that I've created is not the face of drugs. It is not the face of a drug addict. This is a portrait of Anna. Anna was 15 when she died of an overdose. 15. I've been learning about Anna from her father, Tony. He's also given me permission to share her story on the channel with you guys. From what I'm told and what I've read about her, she was a happy girl. She hated bullying and unfairness. She loved cuddles. Right from the time she was a little baby, she used to love to show affection to those she was close to, and was even affectionately called the koala by her dad because of how she liked to hold on to people. She was in the local youth theatre productions of Grease and the Mikado, and she and her friends liked techno music, and she wanted to be a beautician. She never made it to the Year 10 formal she was looking forward to, and actually was part of planning. She died in 1995. She only took one pill, and if she didn't take that pill, she'd be 39 today. Because of one pill, she died. The pill wasn't contaminated, she didn't take more than one, she hadn't been drinking alcohol. It was a single pill of pure MDMA, the same one that all of her friends took that went out with her that night, and they ended up going home and being okay. Well, you know, alive. Anna is not the face of the drug debate. She was a person. She was someone's best friend. She was a sister and a daughter. You may never have met her, but we all lost Anna. And we lose young people all the time from simple mistakes, misjudgments, or decisions made by peer pressure or through lack of information or understanding. So when it came to taking on this project, I asked myself what kind of father I would be if I didn't play my part for my kids. What kind of influencer would I be if I didn't use my influence to play my part in helping young people realize their potentials and live their best lives, and in some small way realize what drugs can do. Even a small thing has the potential to turn into big waves of change. That small thing could be something as small as a pill, which has the potential to ruin relationships and homes and lives. Something so small which can leave devastation in its wake. But we can also make our own waves. We can inspire better choices in small ways. That's the funny thing about the ripple effect. It goes both ways.